is happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am Diao, and we're continuing on with the week of Jordan Peele. I'm reviewing all three of Jordan Peele's movies, including Nope, which is going to be out in theaters this weekend. I've already talked about his first film, Get Out. If you guys haven't seen that review, I'll put a link in the description below so you guys can watch it. But today we'll be talking about his second directorial outing, Us, that came out in 2019. Let's get into this. So, Jordan Peele had a lot riding high on this movie. After his directorial debut with Get Out, which was a smashing success, I absolutely loved Get Out, as for a lot of people, though we were wondering how is he going to follow it up. I couldn't help but have high expectations for this movie, given how innovative Get Out was with the story and its direction, not only to help rejuvenate the horror and thriller genre, but also being able to incorporate social commentary that's relevant for today. Regardless, me being excited for Us was an understatement. The marketing for this movie was a lot better than it was for Get Out. The plot seemed a lot more straightforward. It was great to see Lupita Nyong'o and Winston Duke as leading roles, and it seemed like Jordan was leading more into the horror aspects for this film and introducing a very original concept with doppelgangers or clones of the main character wreaking havoc across town. Like how insane was that, man? This looked like it was going to be on a trajectory to be another hit. There's no way this could fail, right? Right? Well, after watching this, I will say I was slightly disappointed with this movie. But not to say that I didn't enjoy this. I personally think this is not as bad as people made it out to be. This is definitely not a badly made film, though I think the writing was not as strong as it was with Get Out. This time around, I felt like the plot was a little convoluted, and the social commentary we come to expect from Jordan Peele felt a little out of left field with the structure of the story. Even though I feel like Jordan left the social commentary more up to interpretation this time around, I feel like it's to the detriment because it felt so vague to the point where I felt lost in a couple of moments. But as I said, I still really enjoyed this movie. There's still a lot to like about this. First of all, we got to talk about the performances because the performances were outstanding across the board. The standout, of course, was Lupita Nyong'o as Adelaide. She was so great in this movie. As I said, we've never got to see Lupita be in a major role like this, and she knocked it out of the park. I never thought she had this kind of range, playing two very different characters. I believe she deserved an Oscar nomination for her performance in this. It was that good. I was also really surprised with Winston Duke as Gabe. Now, I already became a fan of his after him as M'Baku in Black Panther, but once again, I never seen him be a leading man, and I thought he was really good. He also kind of plays the comic relief and the silly husband, father. I know certain people may have felt like his humor was out of place in a couple moments, but I personally didn't feel that way. I know dads in real life that act just the way he does, so once again, his performance just made it seem more real. And his humor never conflicted with the dark and serious moments in the movie. It felt more like a coping mechanism whenever he tried to insert humor into certain situations. I also thought the kids were really good, Zora and Jason. They were really good child actors, and they didn't go through the typical cliches that kids normally go through in horror films. They didn't make them stupid or naive or have them panic every 5 minutes. They actually made them smart and clever, and they have their own individual personalities that made them more likable. And they knew when to act whenever danger was happening. You know, they didn't seem like deer in headlights. So I definitely really appreciated that. I really enjoyed the overall family dynamic between all four of them. Once again, it just felt real and relatable, which is something that Jordan Peele excels in when it comes to him writing characters. I was rooting for all four of them to stay alive, trying to survive these attacks from these doppelgangers. Speaking of, let's talk about these doppelgangers. I already said that Lupita did an excellent job playing a creepy clone of herself, but I feel like everyone did a good job playing off of themselves. These doppelgangers were scary, unsettling, and threatening. While Get Out felt more like a psychological thriller, Us definitely felt more like a horror film, a straight up horror film. Like this is a slasher with a home invasion influence sprinkled in there. This movie gets bloody and it's absolutely glorious. But once again, it's not gratuitous. Any gore that you see serves the story. I almost forgot that Elizabeth Moss was in this movie. She was also excellent. I think she's starting to become a horror staple after The Invisible Man that came out in 2020, which she was also great in. And once again, the use of music in this film is very well done. The movie uses more of that creepy orchestra that we heard from Get Out. They used it a lot more in this movie. And I gotta say, that creepy rendition of I Got Five on It and how it was incorporated into the movie, oh, it was just awesome. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So for me, and I think for a lot of people, where the movie really started to fall apart was the twist at the end. You could feel like Jordan Peele was trying to do something really shocking, similar to what M. Night Shyamalan does with his movies. And for me, it just fell flat. Reason being because the twist doesn't really make a lot of sense. I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't seen this, but what they reveal in the last 15, 20 minutes or so, it seemed to contradict a lot of what was established up until that point. Also, there was not really a clear explanation of where the doppelgangers came from, like how they came to be. Normally, this stuff we would let slide in horror films because they don't really fully explain where a slasher or a creature came from. You just assume something supernatural and move on. But once again, since they dropped that twist at the end, it just raises more questions. And then there's another thing. There's not really a satisfying conclusion to this movie. The overall conflict doesn't fully resolve. And the movie ends on this very strange art housey type of note. And once again, I feel like Jordan Peele was trying to say something, with substance at the end, but once again, he just left it so vague. It might have something to do with minorities or lower class citizens not getting the same treatment as regular Americans. That's what I'm guessing, but they don't go into that much, if not at all. So I just felt I just felt lost, to be honest. As I said, I was really enjoying this movie up until a point. There was a moment where I thought possibly this could be better than Get Out. But then that last 20 minutes came in and I was like, damn, what are you doing, Jordan? What are you doing? But other than that, I still recommend people watch it and get their own opinion about it. I definitely don't think it's bad. It just didn't reach the heights of the first movie. The performances were still great. The movie is still shot beautifully. I like that the movie leaned more into the slasher home invasion influences. It definitely felt more like a horror film. And I still think the concept of this movie was very original and creative. So overall, I think I will give Us a B plus. 8 out of 10. Really good. But those are my thoughts on Us. What did you guys think about it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was okay? How did it compare to Get Out? Comment your thoughts down below and let me know. So, the last film we have to talk about is Nope. I'm really excited to see this movie. Can't wait to talk about this with you guys. Tune in for the review when it comes out. But if you guys enjoyed this, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to be notified on future videos I'll be doing, don't forget to hit the bell while you're at it. But that's all I have for you guys, and I will see you guys next time. Talk to you guys later. Bye bye.